the Too Much Dip podcast. Welcome. Welcome, friends. My name is Dave. I'm going to host, but the first thing I'm going to do is toss it around. First up, Randy Trimbacki, who will be producing.
Hi, Dave.
How you doing?
Doing fine.
Anything else?
No, I left a note on my screen to do something right after the episode, and now the note's gone, so I need to find out what the note is so I can put it back on.
Dude, I bet it's real important.
It is really important.
Was it to edit out the part of the podcast we did this morning where I started reading the copy for a different sponsor?
That was a separate note that I already achieved, so don't worry about it.
I hate when that happens. A little look behind the curtain for the folks. Here's a guy, Dylan Shivery.
First of all, happy to be here. Secondly, I would like to announce that I have chosen my column topic for the week. I'd like to share it with you guys here.
Ooh, okay.
Hot column.
It is called "The Savannah Bananas Must Be Stopped."
You don't like fun?
Yeah, why don't you like fun?
Must be stopped.
They're going to have you out there doing a little shaking that ass, that tight little ass for the folks, throwing a ball, whatever it is they do.
KJ gave me the double thumbs down. He obviously disagrees.
Double thumbs down.
Yeah, you would like
Absolutely.
You would like the bananas, you fuck.
Hey, you know what? I'll give you an opportunity
I like
unearn my business.
I like them.
But hey, you know.
I've seen their clips. I like them. I like them too.
Yeah, y'all
but
would like
you're a
them.
baseball purist. The balls and strikes are part of the
You
game.
are a
The ump-
purist.
Oh, look,
the ump takes time.
Look, this person's batting on stilts. What an enormous strike zone.
That's fun.
That's fun.
They're growing the game.
Oh man.
You know, you know what? I wasn't going to tell you this. They got Parks into baseball. I sent him a fun video. I sent him a reel of them.
I did not know that.
They were doing the Cupid Shuffle in the middle of the game. And I sent it to him. I was like, dude, LOL. And he's like, wow.
in the rain.
In the rain.
He's like, wow, I should try this sport.
He goes, what is this? I was like, this is called baseball.
Well, I didn't. Okay, thank you for getting Parks into baseball.
Well, it was more the Savannahs, the
Right.
bananas. Anyway, I got to check out this video you sent me. It's called Savannah Banana Hammocks.
Okay.
Surely that's a bit that they've toyed with using out on the field.
I don't think they use toys. It's just like baseball bats and
Oh,
gloves.
okay.
Savannah's banana. What's this video?
Okay, we can move on
It's a trap.
with the show.
Here's a guy with a Faraday hat. It's KJ.
What up? Check out my op-ed next week. Dylan don't know shit about the bananas.
Can we talk about your hat real quick, bud?
Yeah, let's have at it.
He just butted you.
Shout-
Did you buy it like that, or did you flip it up on your own?
Here's the thing. I got it as a gift for a recent operation. I didn't know that was a giftable situation, but I was appreciative nevertheless. And it's a bill that I'm quite unfamiliar with. When I put it on at first, it made me feel the immediate thought was Smalls from Sandlot,
Mm-hmm.
like the
very
huge fishing
floppy.
hat that he rocks. But I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know what the bend situation is, but it has an unhealthy amount of pliability.
I've
And
never
I'm kind of
seen it.
feeling them. I'm like, you know what?
Anything like
I'm going to
it?
go with the Steve Smith bill here. A little
Abs-
West Coast action.
Absolutely no structure to that.
Let's
that
go ahead and
bill.
break down the Steve Smith
It's
comment since
weird.
we're running it back. What does that mean exactly? I don't really follow sports. I'm new to this show. Steve Smith.
Former Carolina Panther, great. Former Oregon State, great. I would say if I looked up Steve Smith Steve Smith Sr. to be exact.
Former home wrecker.
Hat.
as well.
Former homewrecker, recent homewrecker, by the way.
Yeah.
I missed that episode. Hat. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Top 3 images. You get Steve Smith with the up bill. So
Oh.
that's kind of the, I won't say intentional, but nothing felt normal when like this didn't look good. This, seemed too truckery. This seemed like real, like the trucker seemed like whatever the cover of that Matt Damon movie is where
Mm-hmm.
he's like selling oil and somebody's getting beat up or something. So
That's like Tulsa.
This is
No,
what we
it's
landed with,
Stillwater. Stillwater.
If we're
there it is.
If we're
Ardmore.
If we're talking about KJ, forgive me, KJ, if I haven't gassed you up and noticed your attire like I should. Is that Roback pullover new? Have we talked about this before? Your SMU Roback pullover?
Bruh. I probably wear this more than I should. But for some reason it doesn't land on Mondays very often. I have like a cycle of about 3 or 4 Q-zips from Roback that Heavy rotation.
Use code WASH20. Load your card up, Hoss.
Washed 20.
It's a one-time use code. Load it up. Get
Sometimes I
20%
feel like
off.
you don't emphasize the ED enough in washed. You just say wash 20. That's why I said washed.
You're the one who
20.
emphasizes having ED.
Dial has been.
I don't,
Okay.
I don't emphasize it.
No, you're always talking about it.
You're talking about, you're like Blue Chew, Viagra, Roman, all of them.
Yeah, I'm always saying that.
He's taking like trail mix of just all the different pills.
Hold on. Can we shoot a quick ad? I'm 29 years old and I can't get hard. Anyway, back to the plug here.
Cut that.
It is we're
that.
approaching summertime pool season. And for those of you who've been around a while, you know that I've got a community pool.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely the window for ordering my summer fits. Roback's going to be at the front of that line without question.
Hell yeah, that's my dog right there.
It's the best Roback read ever.
It's my dog. Load the card, Hoss.
One-time use. I feel like you don't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
Sorry.
one time.
Yeah.
So use it.
Use it.
Use it or lose it, much like
ED.
it's one of those things when you get older. That's what they'll tell you.
Yeah, I see.
It was a stretch. Don't recommend doing that. Doesn't work.
Oh,
So let's get into it, man. First thing here on the rundown says, JT, Justin Thomas wins at Harbour Town. JT gets the dub.
JT gets the dub.
KJ, to fill you in, they said this about 1,000 times. Circling back this morning, and I found it annoying each time. So they're gonna run it into the ground now.
No.
I anticipated it.
Yeah.
I anticipated it.
He did win though,
Why'd you put it atop the rundown?
because it was. I know that you were going to talk about it. I was getting out of the way first, so we could have fun after you guys talk about it.
His first dub since becoming a father.
It's a pretty big
Okay.
dub.
We did get a lot of Baby Bjorn shots. Almost one at the end with the big celebratory jump from the mom, where like my parental instincts kicked in. I'm like, oh wait, hold on. We're putting a lot of faith in the security of this Baby Bjorn situation. But
Okay.
that was a good little scene. I'm glad I didn't have to stick around to see that ridiculous coat that reminds me of the Colonial. But shouts to the RBC heritage.
Let me ask you guys this. These two, KJ and Dylan. How many wins on tour does Justin Thomas have?
How many wins
Got it.
on tour? He has 2 majors, and I'm going to say he has 11 total wins.
My +5.
16th win on tour.
Oh.
It's a lot of wins. It's a lot of dubs.
It's a lot of dubs. Good for him, man. He's a hell of a golfer.
The thing is, somebody threw out that he won 2 majors yesterday or mentioned that, and I was like, since when? And I had to go back and look, and I'm like,
It's a double
oh, wait,
PGA.
he certainly has.
He doubled up on PGAs, right? That's
Like
That's-
in 2 out of 3 years, right?
The least cool of the majors.
it. Really is unfortunate to not have one of those be a Masters or any of the other 3. Really,
Any of the other 3.
doubling down on PGAs, while
It's like,
impressive, because it is very tough. It's like,
Dumb question here.
yeah, you know, Randy.
Obviously, the Open and the Masters have their own lore. Why is there a significant gap, would you say, in terms of coolness between PGA and U.S. Open? Is one older or have more legacy, but both bounce around, correct? Or like
U.S.
rotate
Open,
courses.
it being an open, like an not an invitational.
Okay.
That even though that doesn't really lead these days to like any kind of like crazy stories. Back in the day, it's open, so it's like, fuck, I'm gonna train. I'm gonna go try to qualify. Like anybody can go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Got it.
And it's got the U.S. thing, United States.
Anything with open in it just sounds doper, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
the one that people least respect. I mean, it's still
Makes
a
sense.
major.
I've got no opinion. I'm just, it didn't line up with Mr. Gatekeep and Shrink the Game, David Ruff's, typical logic of thinking here. So, but I follow.
I feel like that's a shot.
I'm just right. You weren't in line for hours and hours at Bethpage trying to play. I'm really going out on a limb thinking I can guess what course people were lined up for hours on. I read an article, whole article, read the entire thing. Close the article, can't tell you the course.
I
Don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's not relevant to what we're talking about. But I'm just admitting
Well,
that
Dylan's the one who led the show.
guaranteed I'm
off of
wrong.
that.
Would you shut up?
You got the dog.
Jeez, you got the
You
dog.
can rearrange the shit in there if you want.
Who did he
Speaking
go
of-
to a playoff with? Can we
speaking
at
of Steve
least
Smith
acknowledge that?
Andrew Novak.
I'd know him from what episode of The Office?
BJ Novak.
Andrew Novak. Of course, you might know him from graduating. Wofford College. Cool. No, he's only 30. He's been in contention a couple Sundays. He's young. He's early in his career. So give him a shot to earn your business. Seems like a good dude. Had an 8-footer to win it. Should have made it. Want him to make it. Didn't. Fine. Good. Playoff. Still got paid. Signature event, Dylan. It's a big deal.
Oh, jeez.
But it's a tournament right after the Masters, you know?
Yeah. It's a good dude. The leaderboard was great.
Yeah.
I famously don't watch tournaments before and after the Masters.
Hey, man, I famously want you to start fucking watching more golf, buddy. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
I really would like it if you started watching signature and non-signature events.
Mm.
I want you to be our correspondent for the Colonial. That actually is a good one to watch. That's a great course. We should go to that. Have you ever been?
I have not.
KJ, you've been.
I have. Not, I don't know. Growing up, it was always contrasted with the Byron Nelson over in Dallas. So the Byron was like really remarkable for its party tent.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally had some big name players, but the Colonial, I think, has always had an air of respect. Again, going out on a limb, Ben Crenshaw?
Hogan.
Okay, whatever. At the Colonial. So it's a beautiful space. It's a shame it's next to an absolute dog-ass university. Actually, that's unnecessary. There's zero reason for it. It's a wonderful part of Fort Worth and an all-around good time. Big.
He's talking about TCU.
It's just no
He
reason
is,
to bring
yeah.
you into that.
Just a shot. You took a shot. You took a shot. Okay. Well, enough golf for today, unless you got any other fun notes.
Nothing. Congrats to Justin Thomas.
Golf
Weird.
cart shot looked weird, but that's not worth like. I should have sent Randy the photo. It just looks
Novak sitting on the back of a cart. It is weird when they're going to the playoff. They're getting driven back to the hole.
You've got a 4-person capacity like golf cart here, not in a normal golf cart. It's like a gator,
Look like they're in
no
trouble.
roof.
It does.
Yeah,
It
because they've got a
does.
fucking sheriff taking up 60% of the back seat. Like,
Like
Yeah.
this dude got too
like
drunk.
buddy, you could follow along in another 4-wheeler or something.
The patron got too drunk and unruly, and they had to drive him off the property.
It's a little unstable. Like I feel like we don't need all that tournament personnel sitting in the cart. Like let's let him at least ride like a dignified member of society.
Let him
His
Marshawn
leg-
Lynch that bitch to the next hole. Just fucking swing that bitch golf cart style back
Swing
and
it,
forth,
yeah.
tearing up the fucking course.
I don't want to see a competitor's
Bluetooth
feet.
speaker hooked up to the side. Let them pick the music on the way.
I don't want to see a competitor's feet dangling. It's like when you give a girl the ick when she sees your feet dangling off a bar stool. Just kind of like you don't have anywhere to like set them, and they're just kind of there. It's-
Yeah, that is an ick, man. What's up with that?
I don't
Your
know.
leg's too short to reach the floor.
As soon as someone mentioned that, I now think about that.
Oh, it makes sense too.
Yeah.
That would be an easy, stupid prank is to like lower the rungs on somebody's like bar stools or cocktail height chairs. Just like a little bit lower than they're used to. It would be so fucking uncomfortable.
That's a very Jim from The Office long con.
I don't know why, but like that feeling of any time where you can't find that step is just really vulnerable.
Yeah, no, it is. KJ, I think the first time you and I linked up for beers at Buffalo Wild Wings, we sat at the bar, and I probably had that same problem.
Well, the tables were taken up by a literal baby, and that's 100% fact.
Oh my God, there was a baby at Wild Wings at like 11:30 at night. You shouldn't bring your baby out that late.
Anyhow,
Shout out Cedar Hill, Texas.
Chill.
You guys watching some playoffs? Some NBA playoffs? Okay.
Have you
Not
watched
yet.
hockey or basketball
Not yet.
more? I do want to throw that out there first.
I have watched more NBA collectively, but I am more dialed into the NHL due to the fact that the Dallas Stars are represented in that. So
I did see that my Golden Knights won game 1,
there you go.
4-2.
Congratulations.
Yep.
You saw that, like you saw it as in you watched it, or you just saw the little note and you're like, beat your
Actually,
chest with pride.
I have all the results pulled up right here. That's how I found out. But I will be watching. I like legitimately, I do really enjoy playoff hockey. It is awesome to watch.
Bro, there's nothing like it, bro.
It's fun, man.
It is fun. Yeah, my Dallas Stars, KJ, your Dallas Stars, up against it, man. Game 1, we don't win game 1s. I don't know if you know that. Like they haven't won a game 1 in like 7 series or something. We'll just concede the first game to you.
Okay.
We're gonna give you that one. We're gonna give you the dub.
The dog?
We're gonna give you the dub.
First round, dumb non-hockey guy question. 5-game series or 7?
7, all 4 rounds.
Okay. Thank you.
As confirmed 4 seconds ago when I was looking up the playoff seating and rules.
5 games just isn't enough.
Facts.
You gotta go 7.
We used to have dumb first round series, right? Like baseball still does
NBA.
that, right?
NBA used
Or
to
did
do
they
it.
just bump it?
Baseball
NBA,
has
yeah,
changed
yeah.
it so much. I honestly forgot what it currently is.
Yeah, it's because your fucking team's never in the playoffs. You're a Ranger fan. I'm
I'm a
kidding.
Rangers fan.
I know. I'm sorry. We weren't.
I'm like, and even if you were an Astros fan, which I think at one
It's not
point
true.
was kind of approaching, like
Yeah, the joke was never gonna be
was
make any
fine.
sense to anybody.
There was an
who knows
attempt
anything.
made. It just didn't hit.
No, that's not a dub.
fair.
Pretty
fair,
sure.
fair.
Is it
Damn it.
isn't my team on less likely to make the playoffs than Jesus Christ coming back or something like that?
The White Sox.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can
yes.
statistically put that together, but yeah, I've seen that your team is.
Yesterday was Easter.
I don't think it was an actual wagerable play.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
Because what if
Hope
neither
cash
one
just
happened? There's
ticking
no
in.
action on that bet. You know?
Yeah, my book is not taking action on that one. We're just not. It's like it's a little vague.
Isn't that what JD Vance went to go like turn his ticket in and see if they cash out the Vatican? They're like, is this where I cash his wager in?
Rest in peace, the Pope.
You think he killed
Didn't
him?
have JD's money.
Oh, go ahead, Dylan. Just
Go ahead,
Pope
yeah.
joke series.
Yeah. Here it is. Here it is. Go ahead. Right after Easter.
You think he like ricened his palm or something?
This is, of course, a Breaking Bad reference to poisoning with ricin.
Or
Okay.
the interview,
JD.
Oh,
JD.
yeah. Oh, have
which
you
Dave refuses to watch,
Okay.
and it really makes me upset.
Worth
Which
your time.
interview?
The
Worth the
interview,
time.
the movie with James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Don't.
Not the intern.
Can I just watch
So
this? Can I
freaking
just watch
funny.
the studio or whatever? I heard it's okay.
You can watch the studio too.
One time we went and saw Studio 54 in the movie theater. We were like, we don't need to be here. I don't know if you saw it. Mike Myers is in it. It's not great. Anything? No, just me. Cool.
No.
I don't even know what that is.
I know of it. I just don't know. I don't know much.
A lot of
I know
drugs.
of it.
A lot of sex.
Yeah.
No, I don't think JD Van. I don't think they sent JD to do a hit on the Pope.
Didn't change out his pacemaker batteries.
I also think that he didn't kill the Pope. Just
Yeah,
wanted to
he had
put
been
that on
battling
record.
double pneumonia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what did it.
Double pneumonia?
I think that's pneumonia in both lungs.
I did not know that.
You thought you had
pneumonia like on both sides instead of bread, and then in the middle, like where bread, usually is meat.
Like a Big
that's
Mac.
like just where the cheese was. Double down pneumonia.
Oh, like the KFC sandwich.
There you go.
Big Mac is such a shitty burger. It's so stupid.
I'm a double quarter pounder with cheese kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
That's
It
where
just
it's
sounds
at.
cooler. Also,
It does
by the way.
sound
Yeah.
cooler.
Unless Mark McGuire's playing baseball, double quarter pounders always sounded cooler.
What about Whopper? You taking a Whopper over a Big Mac?
I don't fuck
Whopper,
with Whopper.
Whopper.
Junior, double, triple Whopper.
I don't think I've
Flame
ever
grill
eaten a
taste
Burger
with
King.
perfect toppers.
Well, you're
My life.
missing out.
Am I?
Nope. Mustard
No,
Whopper used to be
no.
my ish, but that was back in the day. Times were tough growing up around Cedar Ridge. That was the closest fast food joint.
Back
I had it about 2 months ago. It's probably the first time in a handful of years I haven't had like McDonald's since maybe 20 years. A long time. But I threw the Burger King out like within minutes.
Really?
Went
Really?
to I was getting lunch. Kai was in the car with me, and I'm like, all right, I can get him some chicken nuggets, something to eat while we're going through the car wash. And I was like, I'll get just a Whopper. They tried to hit me for like $12 for just the burger,
Just
not
the
even the
burg?
meal. And I got like 2 bites into it. And I'm like, yeah, man,
That's why you gotta go Wendy's, man. You can get a burger,
ain't it?
chicken nuggets, fries, and a drink for $5. It's fucking amazing.
Dude, I would
I
have
bet I could.
been like, miss me with that bullshit, throwing it out.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
Their chicken nuggets leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah, the McDonald's are way better.
They are. Chicken that's
fries.
true.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm seeing rumors of Miro just to get little Dallas Stars here. Seeing Miro could be back this series. Robertson, I don't know. He got hurt last game of the season, as we know. A meaningless game, but
Miro Heiskanen and Jason Robertson, that is. Or Wyatt, Jason?
Jason Robo, I call him Robo. Yeah. So that would really suck because they made the big trade. You gave up Stank, and would be real tough to go out first round. But you drew Colorado. It's a good team. Good team.
Yeah, I was looking up the seeding just because it seems strange to have like Colorado, I guess, is 4th seed overall in the conference. So it seemed weird to me. I feel like this is like a conference finals level matchup. But you know, it's just kind of how it works with their division champs. And whatever. It makes sense with how they have their division set up. Blah blah blah. Move on.
It's tough. Hey, did you see? We got some more cool quotes from Nico Harrison.
Oh no.
Let's hear him.
Had his press conference today, end of season press conference. I don't know if you saw the Mavs brought the Kings to the woodshed last week, and then in the first playoff game, then they drew them old Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant and co, Desmond Bane and the boys. Didn't go well. Took that L. Tough. But yeah, end of season press conference. You're getting a lot of Nico, and it's not going well for him. You had an article from Tim McMahon that dropped today. You had some stuff from Mark Stein, basically discussing the Mavs organization and how Dirk is no longer really affiliated, and he used to be kind of Cuban's right-hand man. And now it's like, oh, yeah, well, here's what happened. The Mavs, Nico, they started just firing everybody Luka liked. He said as much. Casey Smith, the trainer, one of the most respected trainers in basketball. Others close to Luka, they got rid of everybody. And then before you know it, they got rid of Luka Doncic. And had to answer for it. And it didn't go well. He's sticking to the defense wins championship guns, which is tough when you get absolutely run. Tough but unfair. I feel like you can't just judge one playing game when most of your team has been hurt or is hurt. But the guy just can't there's nothing he can do. He's going to have to resign. He's not going to keep his job. He won't have this job at this time next year. He won't have this time before the season starts. I won't have this job, excuse me. But Patrick Dumont, who is the Mavs governor, the guy who married into the Adelson family, who is now part of ownership, he has apparently grown frustrated with Nico. Said he wasn't really filled in on how important this Luka guy was to the fans. Didn't really anticipate the fan outrage.
Wasn't that dude one of the main catalysts of trading Luka?
Dumont?
Yeah, wasn't he outspoken?
According to Nico, no.
Okay.
He did sign off on it, but he apparently, if you listen to what Nico says and you believe him, no, this was not him. So
Okay.
I just find it, even if you're such a dumbass and you don't even know ball, you own the team, you're Tommy boy, it's like you're gonna run the team. You should know as much as okay, I don't know what makes Luka great, but I do know that he is beloved here. You should at least know that much, right? You don't have to know ball to know that if you trade away a star player not even just in Dallas, at any team, when you draft a guy and he is you're off of a finals trip and you trade him, that there's going to be a lot of backlash. The fact that he was not aware or ready for that backlash is insane to me. Insane.
Having a superstar on your team who is widely beloved by your fan base is every reason in the world to keep the guy happy and keep him in town.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking insane.
And the fact that they had no context for, and I guarantee Dumont didn't realize this, like, he never made the thought, like, this fan base just grew up with Dirk, who was a career Mav, and they had the whole rise and fall and then rise again, him failing, becoming MVP and losing as a 1 seed in the first round. And then to get that 2011 championship, and he's beloved here, and he's stuck with the Mavs. Then to go right from him into Luka, and then for them to just seemingly have that trajectory with Luka, although Luka was on a much higher trajectory than Dirk. Hate to say it, but he was. Then to get rid of that guy, to not have that context and let that think about like how that would affect the fan reaction is indefensible. Honestly, it's the biggest dumbassery I've heard of in sports in many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm. Does KJ have anything on it?
I don't know. KJ looks like he's doing something completely different than what we're doing.
Well, I apologize for my distraction. On the Nico story, and I'll explain why here shortly, but on the Nico story, two things strike me here. We are now, 3 months removed from this trade, almost 4. It occurred, almost 3 months, I guess. It occurred February 2nd, maybe, if that's about right. So nearly 3 months removed. Nico, by all accounts, prior to February 2nd and even thereafter, has no history that would lead you to believe that he's anything other than a knowledgeable professional and a well-regarded person in the NBA, and more importantly, like a business professional, and prepared and capable of doing his job. And I don't mean necessarily as a GM, just as a professional, as a person. Like, you'd hire him, you feel comfortable saying like, hey, can you go tell them what we're doing out there? There's nothing that I was aware of prior to, we'll say, February 3rd that would have ever made me believe that. Every moment for the last 3 months that he has had an opportunity to speak to anybody or say anything, whether it be written or on, like, you've got a full-blown TV studio that's a part of your organization's operations. You could completely fabricate a professionally scripted and like prepared way to present to your fan base / audience communication around this that like appeals to the ethos of the situation, like appears to be like empathetic, appears to be like somewhat like understanding of the remorse and like the disgust and the disappointment. And you don't even have to like press on like why you're doing it from your point of view about defense. It could have been as simple as saying, we looked around at a conference that includes Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren and Zach Edey. Like, even if that answer isn't true.
Zach Edey.
Whatever. I mean, he's averaging like 15 rebounds a game, and like put the Grizzlies
boiler up,
shit
David.
coach like in a position to like do something. I don't think Zach Edey's worth like mentioning here, but I'm just framing it as, if you felt the answer to be successful in the Western Conference right now is to have a successful mobile big, like, even if it's not true, like, hang your hat on that. Don't just say defense. You know what I mean? Like, say AD was key to like competing here.
Provide some nuance to your
Whatever.
actions. Like, provide a little bit of like insight. Like, don't just speak in platitudes. Like,
Right.
defense wins championships. Like, which is used in like every sport, and it's like, proven to be, yeah.
The Mavs have like one of the most discussed and talked about like analytics teams in the NBA. At least in recent history, they have one of them write a summary of like some data that would further support your point and try to drown people in an overwhelming amount of information that, even if it's not true, is too much to defend against without getting lost in the argument.
Too much for a
all I'm saying
podcast
is,
like
like,
ours to like go into. So
but all I'm saying is like, you've got so many avenues to like not come off as a dumbass here. And at no point in time does it seem like he's achieved that. He may in the locker room, to the coaches, maybe to the owners, which I'm seeing reports that that's not the case. That he's like losing faith with the owners. but it just sucks as a fan. I don't want to be talking about this, but I feel fully justified that we're talking about it because every week it's like a bigger insult and pushes you further away from like getting back to the point of like neutrality. It's just weird.
Is there a path back for Luka?
Luka?
Maybe post Nico Mavs.
In addition, well, so you have
There isn't a price that wouldn't be worth it, even if it like sacrificed your entire franchise's like next 5 years.
I will say, in lieu of Time Machine, which just doesn't
Which
seem
we don't
likely.
have access to.
His
Got a hot tub.
Okay, so he signed a 5-year in 2021, expires at the end of 26-27 season. So, I mean, look, it would be quite the LeBron coming home to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland, this is for you, but it'd be more like, Dallas, this is for you.
This
That
is for you,
sucks.
Big D.
Cut that out. That's stupid. No, there is dude, Dumont. I think Dumont burned the bridge too much. Dumont doubled down on the he's out of shape thing.
Yeah,
So I
that was
think-
unfortunate. What setting was that in? I'm sorry to interrupt, but like that was fairly quick after the trade, but it wasn't like a press
It was
conference. Someone else.
he invited like it might have been just Brad Townsend, one of the beat writers, to like come in and like let him record with this phone. It was just like him at a table. It wasn't like a full on press conference. It was terrible. We don't have to talk about it anymore, but it's worth noting that just went down, and quotes are still coming out. It's insane to me to think that you wouldn't understand how the fans would react. You wouldn't think some guys would have a casket like the next day and show up with a custom casket. Yeah, like, dude, people, it's 2025. When you do something like that, we're gonna do bits with it, which
Bits are quick.
it brought our fan base closer together. So going forward, if we ever land a fun superstar again like that, they're going to be in for a real treat.
Just build the statue proactively for them as a fan base, and they can't. What are they going to do? Take it down?
There you
And
go.
Insult the player? It's already up. What are you going to do?
Yep.
Rewriting history?
Elsewhere, I will say if you were looking for some other series that are going to be actually fun, Rockets Warriors looks like it's going to be an absolute banger. Because you have the young upstart, the 2-seed Rockets, who just have shooters everywhere, versus the Warriors, who have added Jimmy Butler. And last night was like textbook Warriors, new Warriors, with like, when it comes time to close, Steph and Jimmy Butler taking over the game. Steph went fucking full, hitting crazy threes from wild angles. It was so fun. So that is one you want to tune into.
Yeah, it's tough to watch the Warriors play and then put up all of the stats that, like, since the trade for Butler, he's like top 5 in damn near every category and improved their teams, like defensive efficiency, their offensive performance, like in every way. It was a tremendous trade by the Warriors. And then Luka put up 38 for the Lakers. They didn't get the win.
They got beat bad.
And people are going to come back and be like, oh, well, didn't this show that like blah, 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 like Luka wasn't worth it? Whatever. The Lakers had a ton of issues before this series. We know the Timberwolves are very good, and it was a game 1. And if you look across the league, I think NBA teams are like, we have always known it's like a league of runs when it comes to playoffs. 10, 15-point swings are normal. But I'm getting the sense that like it's going to be commonplace to see people be like, all right, whatever, move on to the next one. Like there were a lot of 20-point games this first round.
Yeah. And it's worth noting a little fun fact. Not that Luka, I'm not saying Luka's a great defender, but last year on the finals team, the Mavs were like top 5 in team defense after they made their trades when they went to the finals. Now, you wouldn't know it because they were up against a offensive juggernaut, the Celtics, but they were a top 5 defensive team to end the season. So just interesting stuff. See something new's been added to the rundown here.
I want to talk about the good folks over at Underdog first before we dig into this. I think that'd be best.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think that'd be best for
the flow of the show.
When we talk to Dylan here, I'm going to talk to you directly. You ever watch sports and find yourself wishing there was a way to get into the game?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, let's go with Underdog. There's finally a way to make picks on sports without leaving the house, and the game is in your hands.
Shit.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Here's what you got to do. Well, first of all, Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play now in your state. Look, I was hitting y'all up last week. I said, good time to put your Underdog picks in before the golf tournament, before whatever
You
we're
sure
watching.
did.
I really did. Not going to tell you how it played out, but it doesn't matter. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. Touchdowns, strikeouts, points scored, and more. Do rebounds. I'm sneaky good at rebounds. Just saying. Not me actually rebounding the ball, but figuring out, like, is this guy going to go over or higher or lower?
Yeah, I didn't think you're a monster on the glass.
You know I'm not out there
Yeah.
just banging boards.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
Cloud
that.
9 guy.
Yeah, I'm a scorer. I'm a finesse guy.
Yeah.
They got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into 1,000 with just your sports knowledge. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. Check our reviews. Do we have that many reviews, Randy, on this pod?
Hold on. No, but we need to get
Millions.
there, folks.
Okay. We're going to get there. That's our new initiative. Hey, you want a fun one? Just go check in on that Rockets Warriors series. I'll double down on that. I don't know. Maybe just see what Steph's going to do. I think he's turning back the clock. Maybe you can.
I've got one for you.
Okay, give me one.
Give me Jokic.
Okay.
1.5 rebounds in the first 5 minutes, or 1.5 assists in the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
Those are both tempting.
I like
overs.
a
that.
little tempting. A little
Tempting.
tempting.
You know that big dude be dishing.
You know he'd be dishing and he's banging boards.
He's banging on that glass.
Download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code TMD to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code TMD. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
All right, KJ. Here's
You want to
your
do the
seg.
college baseball minute, or can we go ahead and
Go ahead, Bob.
Is this
Get
about to
into
get
this.
horny? Is that to get horny?
breaking news
There's
earlier
no surprise
today?
that
Have you looked at
KJ's
these?
Yes, the KJ's the one who dropped this in.
I have not looked
This
at
is
these.
tailor made for him. I think he has like alerts set up for this kind of language.
Wait. Okay. Sorry. I'm just going to say, is this all verified?
It's direct from the council to
From his counsel.
Mr.
From Shannon's?
Sharpe.
Yeah, so he was hit with, I believe, a $50 million lawsuit.
This
For
morning.
sexual battery, assault. Not good.
Sexual assault, yeah.
The plaintiff's counsel, I've been told, is Tony Busby. That name should ring a bell by now. The
one of
Texas-based
the two.
attorney.
Oh, the Texas Law Hawk.
No,
Oh.
he's not the
The
law.
Texas tank.
He's a different guy.
Definitely not the law.
Go ahead, KJ. God.
Go ahead,
He also
sorry.
does
Let's get
not
it
rock,
on.
to be clear. So yes, woman is accused. Shannon Sharpe suing him for $50 million, as y'all just laid out. I immediately, when I saw the headline, was like, "Wait, was this the lady that Sharpe accidentally went live on?" Because I feel like there could have been a situation where somebody could have accused like him of unknowingly recording
Wiretapping, indeed.
intimate moments. Situation, yeah, wire while tapping for sure. Um,
All right. You hear this guy? He's in his bag right now, yo.
So yes, $50 million case. Tony Busby, the lawyer, we bring him up namely because he is who brought the multiples against Deshaun Watson. Tony Busby has a lot of other famous cases. Most recently, tried to bring a case against Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's play was immediately to post his lawyer's reaction and like his public statement saying that this guy's a fraud and this case is a fraud, and facts will come out. Fast forward a couple months or so, everything was dropped without prejudice, like basically. And then the lady I believe, had to make a statement saying that she'd fabricated some parts of the story.
Wasn't there a Diddy play? Didn't he represent a Diddy?
I
shouldn't say a
believe he's
Diddy.
tied to a Diddy accuser or two. That part I haven't.
And we have to, as journalists, acknowledge that Dylan is connected to Diddy via photo. You took a photo with him. We have to let the people know.
We don't know what he went on to do after said photo was taken. He did leave the bar party peculiarly early.
Where was he going? Maybe he was going to Burger King to get a Whopper. We
Maybe
don't
he
know.
just wanted to get a good night's sleep.
Getting a Juicy Lucy in Minneapolis or something. Anyhow, look it up. It's a thing. All right. Speaking
Hungry.
of Juicy Lucy, a part of the text posted today to Shannon Sharpe's Twitter account, I don't know, an hour ago or so, leads off a statement by Lonnie J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe. You gotta love when lawyers are like, "Hey, my name's got to be up front. I'm getting main billing." Shouts to them. But anyhow, a tactic I hadn't quite seen before. Before you do any legalese, what you want to do is name the accuser, and then just start posting texts.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Go ahead.
Was she named as was she a Jane Doe in the suit? Like, or was her name on it?
I think the initial report, yes, but then I believe her name was released, but don't quote me on that. I've only read the initial accusation. I don't remember if anything has been released over the weekend. In quotes after that headline, counsel Shannon Sharpe, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. That's the subtitle. Then you name your accuser here. And a text message to Shannon Sharpe on October 7th, 2023, which for those of you with a modern day calendar, understand that's in the fall, right at the beginning of acerola eating season, which comes into play here later. We jump into legalese.
This is not a sponsor.
Where we present the rest of like the big core of this thing. The lawsuit filed by her and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby. It's a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars, filled with lies, blah, 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 blah. All that good and well. Brings up when she asked for money. $25K before, $25K she tried to bring up later again. And then we get back into the texts. There were other examples of text from Mrs. Z. For example, context missing here. Only if you put that. How would you describe this next term?
It says baby gravy.
In me, then I can do whatever I want to me, which I think there's some grammatical errors likely there.
Straight up, no one.
That's in November.
No one's saying baby gravy. Right?
Unless
Dylan,
Young Gravy is
this young
thinking
lady
about
is.
long-term relationships with Olivia Dunn's mom or something. I don't know.
Well, I just don't. That's not something. You're 41.
Miss Gen Z is. She's using the term. So what do we know? That's in November again. So we've got a month between actions here. Fast forward through the holidays, of course, through fam time. January 12th, always a good time to come back out. I want to put my tongue inside your asshole, and then here's the real gross part, and then marry you.
That's not the way it's done.
I'm going to read these next couple just because I'm committed to this at this point. That's my, the worst part here. That's my daddy. Fuck, I want you to put that big black baby in me.
That's not a way. She's using ways to describe things that no one is using.
All that's going through my head when I'm reading these or like going through this is like when Colin Jost and Michael Che make each other read their jokes, which I think is a good bit. And last one, you better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so, she went on later to accuse Shannon Sharpe of rape, amongst some other things. So this got ugly quick.
this is a unique way, as you mentioned, of lawyering. Typically, your lawyer will say, don't say anything, don't post anything. put out a statement that we take these charges very seriously. To post this,
But
it's a new day.
Her counsel, Busby, right?
Right.
Surely has a copy of these text exchanges as well.
He may not have before. He does now.
Are we going to see the other half? The other half.
I was going to say like the other bubbles.
Yeah. Well, what do the white bubbles look like in this text exchange? You know, because surely he's not sitting back like, okay.
Important to no, you're right, but important to note that like, okay, so she sent these dirty texts. This doesn't mean that nothing,
That
illegal
this happened or
right?
not or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this happens all the time. People send dirty texts and then somebody does something awful. So we don't know, but this is from like a lawyer in sense, like very unique to put this out here. And you could say, no, he does address some stuff about tapes at the end here. He does deny the allegations, but you could say that it is kind of you could look at it through the lens and say, oh, you're kind of smearing my client and spin it that way.
For sure.
If I'm Tony Busby, I'm saying you're making my client look terrible by just posting that. Okay, yeah, my client likes to send dirty texts. It doesn't mean that,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I don't do criminal law. You guys know that about me. Unless it's clown court. Unless it's clown court and I'm representing Randy. He's a juggalo.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if I would recommend my client does that. It's gross. It's almost like a content play from a content guy because he's
1,000%,
which is interesting.
1,000%. And I'm glad that you bring this up because we did have the very unfortunate story that was Dodgers pitcher. His name's escaping me. Trevor something, can't remember. Where that included some very graphic texts, most of them firmly aggressive, where there were like propositions about what somebody wanted to do, responses, agreements, and all of that. But then, as you mentioned, behind closed doors, things clearly, likely, possibly, could have gone too far. And then on the flip side, you've got this, and boy, I don't want to see it, but to Dylan's point, if Tony Busby then, so to speak, claps back by reposting like just the full screenshot of the text messages and she proposes to tongue down his backside and all he sends in response is just like baby pose spread cheeked, like just a photo of a grown man's beehole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that like confirms or denies the situation here.
Is that supposed to be in there? But I think
that it would be pretty interesting to be like, all right, well, if you want to play dirty, here's your beehole.
All to just get it settled for like $2 million, maybe.
To be like, he's asking for her to say these things. Exactly. And to get settled for like whatever this will do on commercial. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hoping that there's no, it sucks to be in a position where you're like rooting for false allegations because it seems like you're like potentially victim blame. That's a dangerous game to play. But out of a desire to have no actual like harmed victim, for like the victim here to be falsehoods, I guess that's the team I'm on, which seems weird.
Yeah. No, I'm
not pro Shannon, but I'm hoping that nobody was actually harmed in the process of this, minus the reputation damage going on now.
No, I see what you're saying. Is she someone we should know? Is she, I don't know.
I have not done that research. I'm going to file that under as an ally and a feminist, which you both are aware of my positions there. Mm-hmm. I'll wait for, social media to bubble things up to me. I won't turn away then, but I have not gone down that hole.
Okay.
That you might have set the record with that one, bud.
Way to go, KJ.
I'm sorry, but it just, I don't see Big Black Baby.
No one is saying
any other
that.
Context other than like the OB handing a child to my wife, being like, look at this big black baby.
I typically don't comment on things that other
the race of the child.
Well, if it's something I'm not here to say like, oh yeah, people in this community or that community, they're using that term. I'm pretty confident no one's doing that. That's not.
So I don't know. The weird thing here is I think there's intention behind naming her, not just to put her on blast, but I think because she has like a, I don't know what you want to say, like culturally or ethnically like inclined last name, potentially identifiable last name. I think they are trying to make it clear that the person is not black, but they're using a lot of inflammatory or calling out black like language, which historically, that fetishization of black men and women to a certain extent, it's like a historical thing. So I think it's to inflame followers of Shannon Sharpe to be like, hey, this is what we're up against.
This is
Yeah.
KJ. That's a very unique insight there. I did not think of that. Probably because, hey, it's me. I'm Dave. 40-year-old white guy
actually,
here.
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
That's good. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you guys bring it back to sports. KJ, go ahead.
I was at a bar once and a lady, like grabbed me kind of here and like bent me over to say something in my ear. And she said, I want to hang you and then F you. And that was like the most wildest thing I'd ever heard.
Oh.
And so when I read these texts, I'm like, Shannon, I know how you feel, man.
That's
What
Just
bar?
walking around as big black meat. Green Elephant. Shouts to that.
Did the
Dallas.
pickup line work?
No, she was an absolute psychopath. It was I would say
You don't
a
say.
full blown like lady to woman at an age where I was out looking for chicks, if you will.
Dang.
Anyhow, where are we at on time? I don't really even want to do the NFL draft. Can I get that out of the way and we wrap up with a minute?
One time, my buddy and we were in. It was Gulf Shores, Dylan, for spring break. My buddy found this. He was the drunkest guy at the bar, and he found just some local woman, and her shirt said "Drugs first, sex later." We have a photo of it
I love it.
somewhere, and
I love
dude,
it.
you can imagine the kind of creature rocking that shirt.
I can, yeah.
And she, man, we're just
Alabama tat.
dude. So we're at this bar. We're dancing. Well, I say we're dancing. He's off. He's on one. He's fucking on a side quest going. And he had been talking to her, and we're like, dude, no, like, what are you doing? And he's dancing with this group of girls, and like she like was standing off on the side with her arms crossed, like looking real judgy. And I'm not kidding, dude. This isn't. She comes over and she's like, "You better tell your buddy to quit dancing with them girls if he wants to get fucked tonight." And we were like, "Whoa!" And we were like, "Okay." And he didn't. Thank God. We saved him from that. But dude, drugs first, sex later was a big inside joke for
You
a
want
while.
to get booked in that?
It was real trashy.
Jesus.
There was a Facebook album titled that for a brief moment
Dude.
before you realize it's not a good long-term decision.
No doubt. There is no doubt, including like posting the photo of her and like tagging him in it. Just dumb
1,000%.
So behavior that when you're 22 is like, this is a great idea.
Oh man.
Oh.
Can I get the draft out of the way? And that's not to like push your stuff back. I just don't.
No. Let's talk.
It's not an ender. NFL draft happens this weekend in Green Bay. 250, 300,000 people making their way into state that's, I don't know, only got about 5 million in it. I'm interested to see how Wisconsin presents itself. We're going to get a little rain Thursday night, so that won't be great, but it'll look beautiful, 60s, whatever, the rest of the weekend. Think it'll be tight, right outside of Lambeau Field. Thursday night through Saturday, hate the format, said this before, but I'll be watching. Only thing that I really wanted to do this whole segment for is we've got to fucking chill. I don't need a new mock draft from every writer and every organization every day. I don't need like the reports of Tyler Schuff now looking like a first round grade, hearing rumors. This 26-year-old quarterback who's only started for one season might be worthy.
Dylan and I saw him from a field side seat.
He's a unit.
He's a
He's
big
like 6'5",
dude.
6'6".
He's a big
He's an
dude.
absolute monster. He's got to be Cam Newton's.
Yeah, I was not
size.
expecting the size of that lad.
No.
Yeah, he put up a
Well,
good
yeah.
season. He really did put up a good, like numbers-wise, good season for Louisville.
Sure,
But
absolutely.
yeah, a lot of mock
I'm
drafts.
just like, it's just
They
silly.
don't mean much until we'll find out Thursday. Put them all to bed.
Yeah. It's
So who you guys think the Cowboys are taking?
oh god.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm excited for the draft. More so than usual. A lot of horns to go.
Horn's got a new kicker.
Mason Shipley out of state.
Yeah,
Texas State.
Bert Auburn hit the portal. Our guy Bert, who missed. What game was that? Was that the semifinal? What game was that? He missed a extremely big kick. Was that
Arizona State?
Yeah.
He was like 60-something% from field goals last year. He kind of lost his way a little bit, so it needed to happen. All-time leading points scorer for University of Texas, though, which as a kicker, I've always laughed at that stat. But
I hate that record. Like that's all. Like
yeah.
Like you're saying, like it happens so frequently.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. You get why, but like, I feel like there should just be a separate category.
Absolutely.
How many games in before Mason Shipley, right? Mm-hmm. Before it's like, well, the Shipley Dave's got a rich history here at the University of Texas. One. Craig White.
Any relation? Because I am curious.
No,
I said that too, KJ. I
don't think there's any relation.
Mason Shipley is an extreme high school Texas football name.
He visited OU or Texas and then OU and then picked Texas, probably just to up his value a bit, if I had to guess.
Okay. God, you're gonna hear about that first weekend in October. His kicker picked Oklahoma. Had a chance to go to Oklahoma and chose Texas.
Is it college baseball minute time?
Oh. It is finally.
Been
the
waiting.
Moment we've all been waiting for.
Been champing. It's a college baseball minute. And per use, we're going to stay inside the state of Texas for this one. Your number one Texas Longhorns backed up their ranking by sweeping Auburn in Austin over the weekend, including a walk-off run rule home run on Saturday.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
It is. Here's a name to know. Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams is he's a Sark recruit. He's a football player, the number one safety in the nation out of Galveston Ball High School. There was some speculation that he might forego football altogether because he's also quite a baseball player and was projected to go really high in the MLB draft. He chose Texas. He left high school a semester early to enroll. He's 17 years old.
What?
He was nursing a broken collarbone that he got during his football season, and so he's been out for a little bit, but he's finally healthy, and he got his first start over the weekend on Friday, which was the second game of the 3-game series. He went 2 for 4, and then he got to start the next night. He went 3 for 3. He's a big athletic freak of a kid.
A 5-star.
5-star football player. Number one safety in the country, and he is off to a really hot start on the baseball field as well, and he's so much fun to watch.
Okay, I'm looking at photos of him, and so he does the classic, the modern Gen Z baseball guy of the Kenny Power style shade with the Bryce Harper face paint, and this dude looks badass.
He's a fucking freak.
This guy looks badass on the baseball field.
He scored 5 touchdowns in one game last season. I think like 1 on special teams, 2 on defense, 2 on offense, just something. He's just insane. Big kid. He had a bunt single that the third baseman didn't even throw over because the guy is just incredibly fast. He's fun to watch. And so Texas is down their best hitter. His name is Max Ballou. He fractured his thumb. And so they've been trying to find a replacement in left field for him. And Jonah Williams, he finally got a chance to play. And the dude's for real. So check him out. You'll be able to check him out this weekend when actually they have a midweek game against Texas State in San Marcos. And then they host the Aggies, formerly number 1 Aggies.
Where are they ranked now? Like 10, 11?
They're not currently ranked, but they are extremely hot. They have started to play very well. They're tearing the cover off the ball. They just took 2 out of 3 from number 2 Arkansas.
Oh. Okay, I'm looking at a team photo. You're right. They are extremely hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series. A&M is suddenly playing really, really well. So, also Texas, it looks like their ace, their Friday starter, Jared Spencer, is potentially out for the rest of the season, which is a major disappointment. But they got some arms, and yeah, man, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Jonah Williams, though, know the name. Kid's a freak.
2 things: Galveston Ball, where he's from, is like one of those schools that lives in my head. It's like they produce tough ass dudes.
Yeah.
And so to hear of like a 2-sport dude, minus the fact his name's Jonah, who's like a badass in baseball too, I'm all the way in. 2, how long we have until Omaha?
Oh gosh. I
So
don't
it
know.
always feels like super late into the year where I'm like, wait, they're still doing this?
It's like early summer, isn't it? June-ish?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in my brain, I'm like, that's
End of May. Yeah, starts into May.
yeah.
Okay.
You fuckers should be on summer break. What are we doing playing still?
This kid's
Okay,
17
so we still
years
we got
old.
a little bit.
He's baseball's Ryan Williams.
And then I didn't add it to the rundown, but it's probably worth mentioning that Nico Iamaleava did find a home within a week. He is headed to UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that his younger brother was a quarterback on the roster there and transferred out of UCLA this winter.
Yeah.
He wasn't the starter, but was on the roster. So that was pretty interesting. But he'll be showing up where they've lost their starting running back because TJ Howard heading to the hilltop. So yeah, we'll see what happens at UCLA. I was saying Stanford as the option just to kind of like find a place to put it on the map, but it'll give me a reason to pay attention to UCLA. Aside from their head coach's like piss poor Big Ten press conference from last year.
Okay.
Pro
Okay.
Deco.
Okay. Let's rock.
That's all I got.
Let's run it back.
Is it time to run it back? Of course, that's the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. KJ's Bill has Steve Smith energy, former Carolina Panther and homewrecker. The
Ledge.
Savannah Bananas got Parks into baseball. Let golfers swang it to the playoff hole, says KJ. Miss Dave with that bullshit. KJ hit us with the ethos.
Okay.
Acerola eating season has returned.
Haven't heard that in 20 years.
Dave doesn't do criminal law unless his clown court he's representing Randy. KJ heard quite the pickup line back in the day. And finally, you better tell your buddy to stop dancing with those girls if he wants to get fucked tonight. And that concludes Run It Back.
Boy, I could draw a picture of her too. You know what? I'm gonna, for group text purposes after the show, I'm gonna get that photo.
Okay.
I'm gonna
need to
send
see
it.
that.
Dude, I'm telling you. Anyway, well, fun show. We pretty much touched
We
on
couldn't
everything.
censor her face and just take a whole new approach to our thumbnails.
People will be like, "What the hell is this?" Oh, drugs first, sex later. Some might say that's the way to do it. That's the way she does it. We will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bro, let's go out this weekend.